people, I'm the dude and this is Let's Play Age of Wonders Shadow Magic. I have to turn that down at least a little bit. Wow, that sounds loud. Anyways, this Let's Play is going to be a little bit different because mainly I'm going to be doing post-commentary because I can't get normal commentary to work. I can't play this game and record it with Fraps because it doesn't use DirectX, I guess, or I don't know, it just doesn't work. I've tried a couple of other ways of recording it and I finally found one that works and gives me decent quality, but it doesn't record audio with the video, so I have to do the audio separate. I tried recording the video and the audio at the same time but with separate programs and just put them together, but then the timing was all off. So now basically I'm recording the video, watching the video, and doing the audio while I watch the video play. If that makes sense. So this is going to be very different from anything I've done before in that respect. Age of Wonders. What is Age of Wonders? How do I describe this? It's a lot like Heroes of Might and Magic if you played that game. Basically you have units that you move around a map to try to take control of different resource buildings, basically. Your eventual goal is to beat the other wizards who have a main city and will have multiple other cities scattered around. Basically you have to take over their main city, kill them, all of them. There's 7 of them in this particular game. And then you win the game. When you get into battle, you're on this like hex grid where you move your units one at a time, doing their attacks and attacking and stuff like that, using their special abilities. It's very tactical, it's very slow paced, especially on the world map. Whenever you get into combat, it's a bit faster paced, a lot more exciting, I guess, but anyways, it looks like I'm finally clicking on scenario and starting it up. I'm going for a single scenario. It's not going to be an online game. This is what you get when you go into scenario mode. I'm going to be switching it to an extra large map because I want a lot of space, a lot of enemies, a lot of resources to collect. Extra large is really huge. It is a very large map. It is nowhere near small. I maxed out the players at 8. That actually includes myself, so there's only 7 enemy wizards. Starting town size is how big your starting town is. You can upgrade your town as you go along. I'm going to start out small, so I'll have very little to build on at the start. Independents are independent armies roaming around the map that don't belong to any wizard. I want a lot of them because I like fighting, basically. Cities is the number of independent cities. You can take them over, kill whoever's controlling them and take them over. They're not wizard controlled. The other wizards can, and I can. Us both. Gold structures, those are structures scattered around the map that when you take them over they produce gold. It's pretty simple. Usually they're mines or windmills, stuff like that. Nodes are structures scattered around the map that when you take them over they produce mana. You need mana to cast spells for yourself. Your units have their own mana, so this doesn't help them, but it helps you a lot. I'm going to set it at few because I don't want a lot of them. If you have a lot of them, then everyone starts throwing around spells like they're candy, including myself. Miscellaneous structures, they're usually things that let you find treasure or give you a certain item when you complete them, that kind of thing. Treasure is just how much treasure is literally scattered around the map on its own. There's no one defending it, it's just sitting out in the open. You can just walk up and take it if you can find it. And heroes are special units that level up. All the units can level up in rank, but they don't level up in levels, which you'll understand more later. They don't go up in level like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They just have a silver and a gold rank. Heroes literally level up, you know, per level. Each integral. That's not the word I'm thirsty for. Each time they level up, they get a new ability, and they get stat points. So at the end of the game, they will be your toughest units. You'll see more about that later. Magic spheres, that's the different schools of magic in this game. Cosmos it's its own thing. Everyone gets some Cosmos magic. It's a big mishmash of all kinds of stuff. Life is healing and buffing and stuff like that, what you think it would be. Death is about destruction, killing stuff, decay, animating the dead, that kind of stuff. Air's a real mishmash of stuff, honestly, but it's got some good buffs. Earth is, looks like I'm past this. Allowed terrain, that's what types of terrain you'll see on the map. I'm activating Underground and Shadowland because they're their own planes, basically. If you think of the world map that you're on as plane 1, you can go under that plane into the Underground to get a different map. And you can go into Shadowlands through a portal to get to a different Shadowland map. So I'm activating both of those because I want both of those planes. I'm using Random Seed because it'll make the map random, and I want it random. And those are all the races on the right. If you uncheck any of those, they won't show up, but I want all the races to show up, so I've got them all checked. Anyways, back to Magic. Earth is probably my favorite. Next to Fire, those two are my favorites. Earth has a lot of really cool stuff that lets you raise terrain, lower terrain, different types of buffs that are really nice, really good summoned units. Fire is all about destruction, blowing shit up. That's basically it. I mean, it's got a lot of damaging abilities, a lot of area damaging abilities. And then, what the fuck was the last one? Water. Water was the last one. Water's got some nice healing, some nice buffs, really shitty summoned units. Yeah. Right now, I'm turning all of the enemy wizards to CPU Emperor. That's the toughest setting. Basically, that makes them act smarter, I guess, is what I'm thinking it does. Allied Victory over there on the right, I don't want it on because I don't want people to win with allies. I want them or me to have to win on our own. Exploration means you have to explore the map, which is good. You get the Fog of War. And Customized Wizard, I'm going to be creating my own wizard. I don't want them to just randomly give me one. Turn time limit and game turn limit are on no limit for a reason. I don't want to run out of time, basically. And turns are simultaneous because I want the enemy wizards to move while I do. If you turn that to turn-based or whatever, you do your turn, then it switches to one of the wizards, they do their turn, switches to another wizard, that guy does his turn. I want them all to go at the same time. That's what simultaneous does. These are all the different pre-built wizards. You can use their avatar, their graphic, what you're seeing right now on the screen, and still change around your stats if you want to, but these are pre-built ones. They have set races, set magic school, all that stuff. I'm just showing off the different ones so you can look at the different pictures. I actually like the Draconian, but oddly enough, that was a dragon from a minute ago. It's a woman. It doesn't look like a woman, but it is. I also really like the Dark Elf Spider Woman. She's really cool looking. She's got like spider legs sticking around her head and into her skin. It's really evil looking. But anyways, I'm going to the bottom there, create your own wizard, because I want to make my own. These are the different schools of magic. I went into them earlier. Probably for your wizard, you either want to multi-class into several different ones, which can work. You can even multi-class with one point into each of the different casting schools, and you'll get pretty much all the different buffs, all the level 1 buffs, which is a really good strategy. You can just stack all kinds of buffs on units and make them ridiculously overpowered. I'm not going to do that this time. In fact, I'm going to try to skip... I'm going to try to avoid all the different ways to make this game ridiculously easy, and that's one of them, to multi-class with one in each of the casting skills. But, you know, barring that, my other favorites are either full Earth Specialist or full Fire. Full Earth gives you Poison Domain, which is just beast. You'll see that later on because I'm actually picking Earth. I'm going to show up multi-class right now. And Fire is really good because it allows you to get Hellfire at the end of the game, which is basically a massive Armageddon nuke spell that just, it blasts the crap out of the entire enemy forces no matter where they are on the map in battle, which is really powerful. So those two are probably the best spells in the entire game. Poison Domain and Hellfire. That's why you want Fire or Earth Specialist. Or at least that's what I go for. I don't ever get Water or Air Specialist because basically their only real good abilities are really low level. They're just a couple of low level buffs. The rest of their stuff's just kind of meh. And Life and Death are okay. They're not great. They're somewhere in the middle. These are different... They call them skills, I guess. Okay, but basically you can get them all in-game through research. It takes a long time to get all of them. We're talking a ridiculously long time. And here it allows you to pick one at the start to start the game with. And the ones in the red at the bottom, I'm going through them now. You can look at the bottom to see what they do. It'll tell you what they do at the bottom. The red ones at the bottom of the list, if you pick one of those, you can get 2 of the green ones, but the red ones give you a disadvantage. I'm not going to be getting one of the red ones, so I'm just going to get 1 green one. Yeah, see, I'm circling Peacekeeper because that's the one I'm going to get. That one and Conqueror are... See, I'm showing off. If you get a red one, you can get 2 green ones. I'm not going to be doing that, though. But Peacekeeper and Conqueror are the 2 best. Peacekeeper basically gives you better race relations. I'll go into that later. And Conqueror is the opposite. It gives you more EXP when you kill stuff, when you go out and conquer things. You can't have both at the same time, so you have to pick one, sadly. Even though they're the 2 best, you only get 1, but whatever. These are the different races in the game. I'm going through them pretty quickly, but you'll see them, obviously, in the game. I'll run into them. I circled Archons there because they're beasts. Dark Elves because they're beasts. That's why I circled those 2. But yeah, there's 15 total. And they're all unique. They all have different abilities. They all have different units. So this is not a game where every race has the same unit with a different name on it. No, these are all very different. All of them. None of the units are extremely similar. Some of the level 1 units are fairly similar, like they might both be generic archers or something like that, but for the most part, they're very different. These are the different avatars you can pick. You saw them earlier when I was going through the pre-built wizards. I like that one right there, just because he looks cool. His eyes are all evil looking. And I like the one that I went to before that with the, he looks like kind of a commander type guy. But this is the one I'm going for. This is like a generic wizard. He's not really tied to anything. He's not one of the pre-builts. These are the different colors for your race. The ones in the middle there that you can't see the color for, that's another cool one, the undead guy. The ones right there that I'm pointing at right now, those are taken by the enemy wizards, so I can't pick them, sadly. So I'm going to go with red. And now it's creating the map. Taking its time. There we go, and we're in the map now. I am Dude, and that is my starting town right there. Okay, so now that we've got all the explanation crap out of the way, or at least the most of it, there's my avatar in game. There is my first hero. She's a nomad, really beastly looking chick. She gets block. That helps her block 1 hit and throw blades for ranged attack. This is my second hero, the human Minar. I guess he's a leader. It's hard to tell who the leader is because it gives that skill to everyone, even though only 1 person actually has it, because it affects everyone. I have a slaver. He traps people and enslaves them to your team. An elephant rider. He's just a tough mounted unit. And a spear throwing guy. He throws spears at people. I'm pretty sure I end up producing housing right now. That building right there lets me build some more advanced units once it's built, but I don't think I'm going to do that yet. Yeah, I end up producing housing. That loop Q button at the bottom, you can turn that on, and then every turn that town will keep doing that same thing over and over again. That way you don't have to keep telling it to. I'm looking at my spell book. These are the spells I can research right now. Probably the best one out of those right there is Stoning. It's a nice single target attack. That bar at the bottom, if you move it to mana, you get a lot of mana per turn. If you move it to research, you research a lot faster, but you get less mana. These are my skills. They're not like spells, you don't cast them. They're permanently on, and they all do different things. And there's a lot of them. I'm getting Scholar first because it makes all my other research faster for spells and skills. And it pays for itself pretty much after roughly 5 to 8 spells or skills. So by that time, it's paid for itself and it makes everything really fast. Stone Skin, Freedom, and what was the other one? I missed it. Stone Skin is a single target buff. You can put it on one guy and it gives him a ton of defense. Defense being what keeps them from hitting you, basically. Kind of like dodge in other games. And Freedom removes anything that's keeping you from moving, basically. I just took my Horse Archer, I've moved him out and I'm scouting with him. Picked up a couple of mana crystals, which added mana to my wizard. Making a save real quick, just in case something goes wrong. I'm not gonna abuse saves. I'm not gonna be loading saves every time one of my guys die or something like that. Mainly, I'm saving in case the game crashes. I don't want to have to start the whole thing over. So, I'm going to be saving often, but I won't be loading very much. I've taken my elephant riders and my spear throwers and now my slavers off into their own team. I'm planning to use them to either take on the windmill right there or the mine. Now I've taken my human hero and I'm just scouting with him right now, just seeing what I can find. That's pretty much what you do at the beginning. You just try to clear out the fog of war and find treasure. That's my nomad hero. She's found some mana. I got 38 mana for casting spells. I'm back at the base, looking at stuff. I decide to leave it on building housing, and I pass a turn. The game reminds me that my town is building housing. My nomad hero found a human independent village. Now, seeing as they're neutral and my main army is neutral, I can either talk to them and pay to recruit them, or I can kill them. If they were a good or an evil town, I would probably have to kill them. I probably could not pay them to get the town. Make another save, just so nothing screws up. And I'm going to talk to them. They want 85 gold to join me. So now I get those 2 units and the town for 85 gold, which is pretty good. I want to build up humans fairly fast because, as I alluded to earlier in the beginning part of the video, humans have a really beastly level 4 unit. Every race has one level 4 unit. It's their ultimate unit. And the human one is this airship thing. It's kind of like a blimp that it can carry other units with it. So most really fast units have a 40 movement speed. Those are usually mounted units. And all the rest of the units that aren't on a horse or aren't flying units have really low movement speed. If you try to mix the two, you get the lower of the two's movement speed. But if you have a transport, you get the higher. You get the transport's movement speed, if that makes sense. I'm saving, and with my group of 3, I'm going to attack this mine. You'll see more about the airships later. I'll build them. I will use them extensively. They are awesome. This is my trapper. I'm trying to see if I can get him in range at the moment. Oh yeah, clear terrain. Clear terrain removes, I think it's like forest tiles and tundra tiles and stuff like that. I think it clears out the special terrain, if I remember right. I haven't actually used that one much. I'm trying to get my spear throw in range so I can throw a spear. My spear is blocked by that piece of rock right there that you see on the right. So I'm moving my spear thrower behind this rock over here so the engineer can't attack him. The spear thrower is my weakest unit. I needed to move him closer, but also needed him to be safe. So that's why I moved him behind that rock. Yeah, see, the engineer couldn't attack him. Otherwise he would have. Now I've moved him out from behind the rock, and I'm throwing my spear. And it did half the engineer's health in one shot. You only get to use the spear once per battle, but it hits like a truck. I just used my trapper to trap the engineer. Basically, the trap skill, you get 3 of them per battle. They root the unit in place. They make it to where basically the unit's completely useless for, I think it's 1 to 2 turns. And then after that is up, after the trap wears off, you have a chance to enslave them and get them on your team. The first trap hit, but the enslavement failed. The second trap I just did a minute ago completely failed. So now I've only got 1 trap left, and I've just decided to do as much damage to him as I can. Gonna go for the 3rd trap, see if it works. Yeah, the trap worked. And I waited, and the enslavement failed. That's why I'm moving the cursor everywhere. I'm pissed off. I really wanted to enslave the guy. I get the kill with my spear thrower, and he becomes silver rank, which gives him basically plus base stats. Regular units only go up to gold rank. It's silver and then gold, and then they're maxed. So he's halfway, basically, through his level. My horse archer has explored some more, and he found a ring that gives +2 resistance and magic protection. You can put that on your wizard or your heroes. And that teleport button, if you want to spend mana, you can instantly teleport it to your wizard or one of your heroes. It costs more mana the farther they are away from you. I've decided I'm not going to teleport it because, as you see down there at the left, I don't have much mana. I only have 100 right now, so it would be a waste. I end up moving my wizard out of my main town. Usually this is a bad idea, but this early in the game, none of the wizard's forces, the enemy wizard's forces, are anywhere near my town, so it's not really that dangerous. Later on in the game, you're not going to know where the enemy wizard's forces are. They'll be spread out across the map, so this is a really bad idea. I'm just moving my human hero around, exploring. And an independent Archon, I think they're called Legionary, decided to jump my hero. That's what independents do. They just wander around the map, and if they feel like it, they'll attack you. I'm moving my guy behind the terrain because, much like my spear thrower, this Legionary can throw spears. I don't want him to do that. So by moving behind the terrain, he didn't have a shot on me. And now that he's gotten really close, I've got him in the melee range, and I'm going to end up using up all his action points for his turn to where he can't throw the spear at all. You see him raise the shield. He's got the block skill. My first hit will always miss. That's what block does. At least I think it makes it always miss. It might just make it really hard to connect. So I won that fight. I kicked the crap out of the Legionary. He didn't get to use his spear. Like I said earlier, the spear throw ability, you only get it once in battle, but it's a really strong ability. So if you can, you want to stop them from using it, like I just did. And there's now a dwarf independent on screen, and he decided to attack me. Much like the Legionary, this guy has block skill, the dwarf, so my first hit will always miss, which isn't that big a deal. Basically, heroes will out stat point, basically, all these lower level units. So even if you can block my first attack, my other 2 attacks per round will kick the crap out of him. Yeah, see, look at my stats compared to his. He doesn't get the spear throw, so I didn't have to worry about dodging that. And we both missed, I think, all of our attacks right there. First one misses, that one hits, did half his health. Second one hits, does the other half his health. So yeah. In the second round of combat, even though he blocked my first attack, the other 2 each did 50% of his health and killed him off. That's heroes for you. Heroes are beasts. I'm not going to be overusing heroes. It's very easy to overuse heroes. You can just keep hiring them. And, you know, just level them up independently and just spread them across the map as basically engines of destruction. Also, if you hire all of them, it doesn't leave very many for the enemy wizards, which weakens them. I won't be doing that. I'm going to use maybe 2 to 3 throughout the entire game. That's it. 2 to 3 is a pretty respectable number. Most enemy wizards will end up with, if you don't take all the heroes, they'll end up with something like 4 to 5 usually. So I'll have about half the number of heroes they do. My horse archer has found some more mana crystals, and my wizard has gotten over to the item, I think, the ring. My group of 3 are fairly injured. My spear thrower is about to die, and my elephant guy is a little bit damaged. This tree right now that I just moved on top of is a haste tree. Any unit you put on top of it gets all their movement points back and a little bit of bonus movement points. That's why my guy can move basically twice there. That white building that I just landed on heals any units that land on top of it, basically. So my hero, my human hero, is now at full health. And my group of 3 now have... Actually, I didn't think about it during the match, but you can't get the haste tree with all your units in the same turn. I think it's like once per turn. So those 3 guys didn't get haste. My nomad hero is going into the underground to explore. She runs into something that's off screen right there, right off the bat. And my group of 3 just got attacked by a fucking spirit. This is a very high level unit for the Shadow Demon race. At this point during the video, I thought I was screwed. I'm not gonna lie. I thought these guys were fucked. I thought they were gonna die. I tried to use Stone Skin right there, but I'm out of my domain. I'll show you the domain when we're back on the world map. I forgot to mention that. That front guy is really weak, but the spirit is a beast. Look at his stats, and look at all his abilities. He's even got physical protection, which it basically halves my damage when I hit him. So his already high stats are reducing my damage and my to hit rate, and then physical protection cuts that in half. I try to throw a spear at him, it doesn't hit. It's not surprising, he has a really good defense. He also has Magic Strike. The elemental strikes basically give you 50% more damage, but it's elemental damage. So if you don't normally hit for 6, you'll hit for 9, and 3 of that will be elemental damage. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm trying to kill the spirit. I got a trap in on him. I didn't think the trap would hit because his defense is so high, but I got lucky. Really lucky right there that the trap hit him. The weaker of the Shadow Demon guys killed my Spirit Thrower, and then my Elephant revenged him. And I'm trying to hit the Spirit, but I can't because his defense is ridiculous. I get 1 weak hit in for 2 damage, but I enslave him. My slaver finally proved his worth and saved us. If we had to slug it out with him, if that enslavement didn't work, we probably wouldn't have won. I'd have lost that whole group. In the underground, a couple of human units decided to attack my nomad hero. I'm trying to use abilities again. I'm still out of my domain and it won't let me. I'm moving behind terrain right now because the human unit in the back over there is a crossbowman, which is basically an archer, except the crossbow has extremely high attack rating. I think it's 16, and its damage is extremely high too. I think it's like 8 per hit or something like that. So yeah, I'm trying to dodge the crossbowman right now. My nomad hero right there, I forgot what her name is, Amelia or something like that. She was near the human footman when she tried to move away, so she got hit on the way out. They get a free hit if you do that, basically. I'm fighting the footman right now, not very successfully. I can't see his health, but he's probably at about half right now. The crossbowman's hit me twice, and I have pretty much no health, and then the footman finished me off. So there goes my hero. Losing heroes this early in the game before you invest a lot of time in them isn't really that big a deal. You're probably gonna lose a couple unless you're just loading like mad until they get tougher. Once you start spending time leveling them up and getting them items and stuff like that, you really don't want to lose them. You want to be careful with them. And just make another save in case something happens. Oh yeah, the domain. You see the red kind of dots around my wizard right now? That's my domain. That's how far out a battle can be for my wizard to cast spells, basically. When he gets back in his town, the domain will increase. It won't be this little small area. It'll probably be twice as big as this around the city. And then later on, when I level up and I buy a couple of buildings in my main city, that domain will increase even farther. It'll get pretty big by the end of the game. Plus, if you get cities farther away, if you capture cities farther away from your main town, you can put your wizard in that city, and the domain will be around that city somewhere else, instead of this corner of the map where I am right now. So you can move your domain around, basically. I'm trying to take another mine now, another engineer's guarding it. Pretty much the same thing's going to happen. I'm going to try and trap him. And if the trap fails, I'm just going to kick the crap out of him, basically. Except this time I have the Spirit, who is a monster. He's an extremely good unit. By far the strongest unit I have at this point. You see those arrows in the bottom left? When you're the attacker, which I attacked the mine, I'm the attacker. The engineer's the defender. When you're the attacker, you can move your units to the far edge of the map and there'll be arrows. If you move your unit on top of that arrow, they'll escape the battle. And they'll survive, basically. But you can only do that if you're the attacker. If you're the defender, you just have to fight to the last man, basically. My Spirit is kicking the crap out of the engineer, trap failed, and my hero just got the kill for some EXP. When you can, you want to get the kills with your heroes because they're the most important unit. You want them leveling up. And when you get a kill, you get the most EXP, so... I'm showing that I got the mine down there, where it said mine, income 20. So I have 2 mines so far. I think those are the only resource buildings I have at the moment. But they're good. My human hero led army or whatever, that right there, just found another town. It looked like an Archon town, which is awesome. I want the Archons. Archons as a whole are probably the strongest race in the game. Not by a lot. There's a couple of them that are up there that are really tough. But Archons are one of them. So after I either buy that town out or take it over... And that's the end of the video. After I buy that town out or take it over, I'll be able to produce Archon units. Which is awesome. So anyways, that was Let's Play Age of Wonders. Age of Wonders. I'll see you guys next time. All of them. There's 7 of them in this particular game, and then you win the game. When you get into battle, you're on this like hex grid where you move your units one at a time, doing their attacks and attacking and stuff like that, using their special abilities. It's very tactical. It's very slow paced, especially on the world map. Whenever you get into combat, it's a bit faster paced, a lot more exciting, I guess. But anyways. Oh, it looks like I'm finally clicking on scenario and starting it up. I'm going for a single scenario. It's not going to be an online game. This is what you get when you go into scenario mode. I'm going to be switching it to an extra large map because I want a lot of space, a lot of enemies, a lot of resources to collect. Extra large is really huge. It is a very large map. It is nowhere near small. I maxed out the players at 8. That actually includes myself, so there's only 7 enemy wizards. Starting town size is how big your starting town is. You can upgrade your town as you go along. I'm going to start out small, so I'll have very little build on. Perhaps because it doesn't use DirectX, I guess, or I don't know. It just doesn't work. Tried a couple of other ways of recording it, and I finally found one that works and gives me decent quality, but it doesn't record audio with the video, so I have to do the audio separate. I tried recording the video and the audio at the same time, but with separate programs, and just put them together, but then the timing was all off. So now basically I'm recording the video, watching the video, and doing the audio while I watch the video play. If that makes sense. So this is going to be very different from anything I've done before in that respect. Age of Wonders. What is Age of Wonders? How do I describe this? It's a lot like Heroes of Might and Magic, if you played that game. Basically, you have units that you move around a map to try to take control of different resource buildings, basically. Your eventual goal is to beat the other wizards who have a main city and will have multiple other cities scattered around. Basically, you have to take over their main city, kill them. Alright, hello people. I'm the dude and this is Let's Play Age of Wonders Shadow Magic. I have to turn that down at least a little bit. Wow, that sounds loud. Anyways, this Let's Play is going to be a little bit different because mainly I'm going to be doing post-commentary because I can't get normal commentary to work. I can't play this game and record it with friends.